Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dear sisters. This is my first lecture in English language. I'm a little nervous, but I'm very happy because I'm shared with you. It's very important information about postpartum depression and its effect on breastfeeding. So inshallah, we will start. It's okay with presentation, you see?
Yes, it's clear so far for me. I hope the others can see. Can you type on the chat box that can you see the PowerPoint before she starts, please? Yes, they can see the slides. You can go over, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Please remind the sisters to keep your camera and your voice microphone muted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Having a baby is an intense experience, and no matter how the baby is delivered vaginally or by cesarean section, a mother's body has just undergone a traumatic event. After the birth of her baby, a mother's body experiences a significant adjustment as her body is no longer carrying and supporting a baby. Hormones fluctuate rapidly and intense exhaustion sets in because the baby requires 24 hours attention and feeding. In addition to physiological change, mothers also experience psychological or emotional change and pressures. Often mothers have the belief that they should automatically feel bonded or in love with her baby. This often stems from societal pressures and expectations or from the mothers herself. However, mothers do not always feel immediately bonded to their baby after birth. Mothers may also feel pressure to breastfeed because may not be able to do so easily, causing additional stress and mood challenges. The combination of physiological and psychological stressors in the first couple of weeks after delivery can lead to a series of challenging symptoms for a mother. So, first couple of weeks after delivery, we can see some mothers feels overwhelmed, emotional, fragile. These are all of signs of baby blues. Tendency to cry, tears for small reasons, impatience, sadness, mood swings, irritation, concentration problems, all of these signs of baby blues. And baby blues started after delivery, maybe next day, and continued 2 or 3 weeks. And after this one, the woman come back to her normal life. But if this conditions not changed, and the woman her psychological condition continued and will be severe. So this problems with postpartum depression. So we will see now, next slide. After childbirth and after any important long-awaited life event, there comes a feeling of release from tension and with it devastation. And this happened because it's hormonal change and psychological change in life of women. After the peak of stress, such a reaction as tears, a whiny state is quite appropriate. In women who are stuck only in this process, childbirth, and at the same time do not see the continuation of motherhood with a child born, the likelihood of postnatal depression increases. Prevalence of postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. For every 1,000 live births, 100 to 150 women have postpartum depression. 1 to 2 women develop postpartum psychosis. So it's very rarely. According to WHO estimates, by 2020, depression will take the second leading cause of premature death and disability in the world. So we can see now, and some situations with COVID it's happened too much depression, because it's isolation and different psychological conditions. We now, inshallah, in the slides, with separation mother from baby and another situations coming for postpartum depression. So which of sign of postpartum depression we can see? Feeling worthless, hopelessness, or hypertrophic guilt. Now I want to distinguish between baby blues and postpartum depression. It's very important. If you see the signs different, and inshallah, I read after this one, I explain. Unexplained weight loss or gain, feeling like life is meaningless, suicidal thoughts. So, for example, in baby blues, it's never we can see that suicidal thoughts, but in postpartum depression, it's possible, and in postpartum psychosis too. Fear of harming the child, loss of interest or pleasure in life, loss of appetite, lack of energy and motivation for action, difficulty falling asleep or restless sleep. Every time she wants to sleep, every time. It's not only she's tired, but it's really every time she wants to sleep. Increased sleep duration, increased tearfulness, and it's very interesting that this list we can continue. For example, lack of libido, this change in sexual life of women too. It's relations with her husband, all of aspects of the life in her, with child, with family, with husband, all of parts of her life it's changed. And I think it's one first problem, change relations with mothers, with herself, because it's too much anxiety, too much fear, too much. She lost her. I can see like this one, herself, confidence, self-confidence too. Prevalence of next one, and which red flags for postpartum depression is really very important. You might find yourself withdrawing from your partner or being unable to bond well with your baby. You might find your anxiety out of control, prevent you from sleeping even when your baby is asleep, or eating appropriately. For example, some mothers, if baby sleep, in baby blue situations, for example, mother, she can find time for sleeping. But when it's postpartum depression, for example, baby sleep, but she can't find, not only can't find time, she doesn't want to sleep. And this problem, for example, she not feeling, for example, if we hungry, we want to eat, but she lost this feelings. This very important, because this all of have effects for breastfeeding. We know that breastfeeding mother needs she normal drinking water and normal eating, but this have problems. She loss of appetite. You might find feelings of guilt or worthlessness overwhelming, or begin to develop thoughts preoccupied with death, or even wish you were not alive. There's really very important red flags too. Why? Because some mothers can feel guilt that she cannot normal care about her baby, and every time when this feelings of guilty it's too much, she can start this affect for her relations with children, with her baby. So it's problem. Okay. Now I want we speak about risk factors, effective perinatal care. Which factors can come for postpartum depression? Systematic reviews have identified the following risk factors to agree or less extent associated with the current postpartum depression. First one, a history of psychopathology and psychological disorder during pregnancy. This is very important risk factors because some mothers have pregnancy-related depression. And if mother have in history of pregnancy depression, so it's risk of prenatal postpartum after delivery is greater. Insufficient social support, because it's some women, for example, if she live in another country, not support from mothers of another family members, it's possible. For example, I have one mom, she live in Germany and all of her family live in Azerbaijan, in my country. After delivery, she has a problem, but it's alhamdulillah, it's not not postpartum depression. I think this only was baby blues, but really she's very miss for her family. She wants to be near mother, and this because it's first baby, and some first mothers, it's this situations was likely. So it's social support and first support from family members is very important. Bad relationship in marriage, recent negative life events, postpartum blues, we said about this one. There was little association with birth complications, past mistreatment of women, because it's our body, all of in our body, all of our feelings, all of our mistreatment, all of remember our body, remember all of these feelings. And if, for example, second delivery and women started again feel all these bad feelings, past feelings, low family income and low professional status, I think this is very, very important risk factors too. Now I want distinguish between stressors, which stressors associated with postpartum depression, and now I want to see the clinical stressors associated with hospital stay. Distorted, often negative information about childbirth. For example, if this first delivery received by women even before admission to the hospital, a feeling of tension, fear, panic that forms long before childbirth. The hospital environment often depressing the sick patients, and pleasant associated with a past experience. Unusual environment and unusual objects, sometimes negative. Painful sensations, even very weak when performing diagnostic and therapeutic procedures, can be perceived as significant and dramatically increase feeling of fear and anxiety. Social stressors, the birth of a child out of wedlock. After giving birth, a woman begins to comprehend the situations associated with living in the hospital. This is very important because some family don't support this. If her daughter, for example, the birth of child out of wedlock, some families not support this her, so have a problem for mother, and it's the reason for postpartum depression. The attitude of close relatives and significant adults to her child. Low level of material support, inability to purchase everything you need. Now we see it's social stressors too much depend from support. Marital problems, illness of a child left at home or fear worrying about him. Illness or death of other close relatives. These two important because it's I think when we lost somebody from family, it's a family or family members or very close relatives. It's depend of our psychological condition. I remember me. I lost my mother when Asma she was 2 months, and I remember it was not so good. endogenous factors in the development of postpartum depression, pathology of pregnancy, and fetal development. This we know because it's, for example, if in pregnancy time, you know about problems of your baby, for example, heart problem or another problems, it's like your depression start in pregnancy time. Because every time your expectations about baby, for example, all of mothers, expectations sometimes it's very nice. So we wait that this baby was born is very healthy and was all of fine. But sometimes when we in pregnancy time we know about the problems in baby, and so it's postpartum depression. It started in pregnancy before delivery. The presence of a burden, obstetric or somatic history. So it's have some illnesses. Painful contractions, individual perception of labor pain associated with pain threshold. So it's very important because this pain threshold, it's not only depend all of, not only for postpartum depression and all of how mothers go through delivery, how mothers go through motherhood. This is very important, and breastfeeding too, because for example some mothers think, oh, it's okay, it's if I have pain, I can't breastfeed, so it started give to baby formula. Postpartum diseases, low Apgar score of newborn, premature pregnancy, cesarean section, increased hormonal levels and neuropsychiatric stress. These two were important factors. Now, I want to speak about breastfeeding, and now we say that how postpartum depression was spoke about postpartum depression. Now we speak about how this depends on breastfeeding. So little I said about this one. Breastfeeding can reduce stress level and your risk of postnatal depression. How this work? The Association of American Pediatrician recommends exclusive breastfeeding for about 6 months and continuation of breastfeeding for 1 year and longer as mutual desired by, by mother and infant. If breastfeeding is helping a mom bond with her babies, contributing to her symptoms, then her postpartum depression treatment can and should be built around protecting the breastfeeding relationship. If breastfeeding is contributing to a mom's postpartum depression symptoms, she should not feel guilty if she chooses to seek alternative forms of feeding. Sometimes this happens. Breastfeeding is an important factor to consider when thinking about the baby blues. Establishment of breastfeeding usually occurs in the first few weeks after delivery, which coincide with when baby blues is most likely to occur. Breastfeeding can be both protective and challenging for a new mother. Breastfeeding can lead to increases in hormones like oxytocin, a naturally occurring hormone in the body that naturally improves mood. This is very important. We all of us know about oxytocin, so I don't speak about too much. We know that's how it's important and naturally improves mood of the mother. This can be very helpful to new moms struggling with the baby blues. However, it can also cause added stress to a mother who wants to breastfeed but struggles to do so successfully. Therefore, the impact of breastfeeding on the mother's adjustment and mood must be considered. So what we can do, we need support mothers for continued breastfeeding because hormones oxytocin can change her mood, and it's very important to know for mothers. Now I want to say which few tips that can help you recover mother faster and easier to transfer baby blues. Now I like this picture. You know, everywhere's hands One hand give food, another hand help her. Yani it's all of mothers need support, and if mother has support, she can relax, she can breastfeed her baby. And I think it's in these situations, it's not possible to be postpartum depression. Create a secure attachment with your baby. The emotional bonding process between mother and child, known as attachment, the most important task of infancy. The success of this wordless relationship enables a child to feel secure enough to develop fully and affects how he or she will interact, communicate, and form relationships through the life. A secure attachment is formed when you, as the mother, respond warmly and consistently to your baby's physical and emotional needs. When your baby cries, you quickly soothe him or her. If your baby laughs or smiles, you respond in kind. In essence, you and your child are in sync. You recognize and respond to each other's emotional signals. However, learning to bond with your baby not only benefits your child, it also benefits you by releasing endorphins that make you feel happier and more confident as a mom. These two very important points. Lean on others for help and support. I know, for example, like me, as perfectionist mothers, every time she wants to do herself, I can do this one, I can do this one alone. And when somebody can, maybe I can help you, you can say, no, thank you, I can do this without help. And all of these responsibilities, it's too much for mother because baby, it's take too much time and needs, and all of mothers need support. And all first weeks or first months, I think it's, we need agree with us and ask help, because it's really help and help us and for our psychological
psychological status.
yes, psychological state. It's very important. Thank you, Nasreen. Lean on others for help and support. Make your relationships a priority. When you are feeling depressed and vulnerable, it's more important than ever to stay connected to family and friends, even if you'd rather be alone. Isolating yourself will only make your situation feel even bleaker, so make your adult relationships a priority. Let your loved ones know what you need and how you'd like to be supported. Because, for example, maybe you like some food, but you don't like another food. You can prepare food, for example, but um, uh, you can choose another job, or for your husband, or for your mom, or for another your friends. It's very important when mother, she can. It's very good word in Russian. We said delegation. Yani give different jobs for another man.
Yes, to break the tasks and the house to people, so not to do everything alone.
Yes, yes. Don't keep your feelings to yourself. In addition to the practical help your friends and family can provide, they can also serve as a much needed emotional outlet. Share what you're experiencing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, with at least one other person, preferably face to face. It doesn't matter who you talk to, so long as the person is willing to listen without judgment and offer reassurance and support. Very nice if we have like friends or family members who can listen without judgment. Low distribution. You shouldn't try to do everything yourself. It is necessary to distribute the care of the baby and household chores for all family members, dad, grandmothers, grandfathers, and even friends who, for example, you can instruct to buy everything that you did not have time to buy before delivery. Ideal if the father, the child, will be able to take a short leave from work, at least for a week, so that mom can recover after childbirth and easier to adapt. Women should pay attention not only to the child, but also herself. Communication. The lack of communication also negatively affects the mental balance of a young mother. Childless friends, worst of all, they will not understand your problems, and communication with them will be reduced. Actively working people perceive the passage of time completely differently than a mother on maternity leave, so you should take the initiative yourself. Invite guests or on joint walks. In addition, it's advisable to make new acquaintances with women who already have children, with whom you can discuss topics of interest. Be a joiner, even if you have supportive friends. You may want to consider seeking out other women who are dealing with the same transition into motherhood. It's very reassuring to hear that other mothers share your worries, insecurities, and feelings. For example, for these communications, it's very nice mother support groups, because all of mothers with babies, all of mothers have some problems, and when mothers in support groups sharing with their feeling, their expectations, their worries, it's very, very nice. And after these meetings, all of mother feeling much better than at home in isolation, with feelings of guilty. So I think support groups for mothers is very nice choice in this point. Take care of yourself. Skip the hard work. Make yourself and your baby the priority. Give yourself permission to concentrate on yourself and your baby. There's more work involved in this 24 hours in a week job than in holding down a full-time job. Ease back into exercise. Studies show that exercise may be just as effective as medication when it comes to treating depression. So the sooner you get back up and moving, the better. No need to overdo it. A 30-minute walk each day will work wonders. Stretching exercise, such as those found in yoga, have shown to be especially effective. Don't skimp on sleep. A full 8 hours may seem like an unattainable luxury when you are dealing with a newborn, but poor sleep makes depression worse. Do what you can to get plenty of rest, from enlisting the help of your partner or family members to catching naps when you can. It's very important, for example, this point when mother can sleep. And for example, some advices that she can sleep when the baby sleep, but it's not possible because it's newborn baby sleep too much, and for mothers no needed too much sleep. Only, for example, for new mothers, 6-7 hours it's normal for her. So it's possible when baby sleep in the daytime, for example, in the morning, or sorry. When it's I can write here. Okay, thank you. When it's possible for mother, she can sleep with baby in the daytime, morning time or evening time, but it's very important to sleep with baby. She can breastfeed, and after this one, she can sleep with baby, and that's very good for her rest. I can. Sorry. Before it will be good, but now it's not possible.
I'll try. Okay.
Okay, now it's good. Okay, go. If you get the required number of hours of sleep in day, then we can assume that the problem is postpartum depression resolved by 50%. We know that it's really lack of sleep. It's too much depend with postpartum depression. It helps a lot in this, keeping breastfeeding and sleeping together or lying down a child in a crib. close to the bed parents, so that in distance outstretch arm. So it's possible if it's a baby crib, it's near the mother's mother bed. She can breastfeed baby and put in crib, and she can sleep, continue sleep. For example, for me, I lost my three children sleep with me in one bed, but sometimes some pediatrician advise separately sleep for baby in crib, but crib is near the mother's bed. In these cases, there is no need wake up several times a night, get up with bed, so this mix is needed. Give formula or breastfeed, rock the baby, then significantly saves time that can spend on sleep. Very soon after giving birth, mom's life becomes very monotonous. So we know that it's same things every day. She feed baby sleep, she change baby's diapers, and every time all of this every day same things. So this recurring kind of day marmot, which is the main factor in the development of postpartum depression. It's necessary periodically. For example, for baby, this monotonous every time same things for baby is very important. But for moms, no, because for baby, his life, and for mother is different things. For baby, it's very important. Every time bonding with mother, every time same things. This will be very nice for development of baby. But for mothers, this life is not so good, because maybe before delivery, she every time meetings with her friends, maybe she go to gym or another life, but after delivery, her life very changed, and so it's necessary periodically, once or several times a week, be distracted for a couple of hours, entrusting your baby to a loved one person. Ideally, if it's a dad, who in addition to living for the child in your absence, he will be able to establish more close contact with baby. Mom's work should bring her enjoyment and enhance self-esteem. Good help with this group sports, going to the hairdresser, beautician, meeting with friends. However, all these points should discuss with dad or other family members during pregnancy, so that they are ready for the responsibility which will be entrusted to them. Set aside quality time for yourself to relax and take a break from your mom duties. Find small ways to pamper yourself, like taking a bubble bath, serving a hot cup of tea, or lighting thin candles. Get a massage. Make meals a priority. When you are depressed, nutrition often suffers. What you eat has an impact on mood, as well as the quality of your breast milk. So do your best to establish healthy eating habits. For example, I can say some doctors advise for mothers, if conditions of baby blues or postpartum depression, eats foods with omega-3 or omega-6, because this food with omega is very nice for mother, and can help her with postpartum depression. So some doctors advise mothers eat foods with omegas. Get out in the sunshine. Sunlight lifts your mood, so try to get at least 10 to 15 minutes of sun per day. I think that's very good idea too, because it's really when mothers sit in every day at home with baby, without sunshine, without sunlight, in isolation, it's really depressed. The situation is so depressed. So we know about this one because it's in COVID-19, all of mothers, we sit at home and we see how this the situation so depressed for us, and we can imagine situation for mothers after delivery. So it's sunshine. It's very nice for mothers. Adaptation in the family. Not only mom has to adapt to the new role, but also other family members, and above all, the father. How smooth this period will pass depends first of all on the women. Patience and understanding is needed, especially if the birth is first. It often happens that moms give instructions to dads to buy diapers, go to the pharmacy, change the baby's clothes, and others. This almost always leads to a conflict and incorrect fulfillment of instructions. For example, the size of the diapers is not the same, or the mixture is both the wrong one. The diaper is worn the other way around. It will be much better if instead of giving instructions, the first few times the mother herself goes shopping with the child's father, shows how to properly change the child's clothes so that he can see and remember. This will solve many problems. Encourage and do not suppress the initiative, even if the child's father does something wrong. By taking the initiative, that takes over and responsibility, which allows you to share responsibilities. Make time for your relationship with your partner. It's a very important point because some divorces happened and problems in marriage starts after delivery. And we know that it's postpartum depression happened not only in women. Postpartum depression happened in men too. So impact on men life too. So we need to know about this one. For example, when my children were born, I don't know about. I think only mothers can happen postpartum depression. But when now I remembered some situations, I think it's maybe my husband. With my husband happened postpartum depression, because some signs show this. We need to know about this one. So make time for your relationship with partner is very important. Keep the lines of communication open. Many things change following the birth of a baby, including roles and expectations. For many couples, a key source of strain is the post-baby division of household and childcare responsibilities. It's important to talk about these issues rather than letting them fester. Don't assume your partner knows how you feel or what you need. It's essential to make time for just the two of when you can reconnect, but don't put pressure on yourself to be romantic or adventurous unless you are both up for it. You don't need to go out on a date to enjoy each other's company. Even spending 15 or 20 minutes together, undistracted and focused on each other, can make a big difference in your feelings of closeness. And one interesting point, it's evidence-based. We know that if mother have very good bond for her baby, and her oxytocin hormone, it's work very nice, and she has a good mood, this impact on fathers too. If mother's oxytocin level high, so this impact on father, and for him his oxytocin level is increased. It's really very important. So we see how this depend all of each other. If mother's good, her mood good, her oxytocin level increased, and this impact to her husband, and his oxytocin level increased too. Now I want to speak about treatment of postpartum depression, but we need to know. For example, yes, I'm psychologist. I have some work like psychologist with mothers, but I'm psychologist, but I cannot give some medications for mothers, prescriptions for medications for mothers. And like lactation consultant and breastfeeding counselor, we need to know about this one. And this part of my lecture is only for our knowledge. We need to know about this one, but we don't give any medication prescriptions for mothers. So first one, individual therapy or marriage counseling. Second, antidepressant, and third one, hormone therapy. How it's possible to treatment postpartum depression? For example, for baby blues, no need any treatment. And baby blues is only first a couple of weeks, and after this one finish, and only mothers need support. Mother need good relationship with her husband, and support from family members, from friends, and normal sleep, normal eating. It's okay if she doesn't have problem with breastfeeding. It's okay. After a couple of weeks, baby blues is finished. But for postpartum depression, it's very important to know that it's not stop. Postpartum depression is continued if mother have problems. We say about this risk factors. We said about different social, psychological, physiological problems with mothers. If this condition don't stop and continue, so postpartum depression be treated. And for this one, we refer the mother to psychiatrists and doctors or other health cares for provide treatment of mother. What we know about antidepressant and how this affect with breastfeeding. Taking antidepressant medications may help elevate the symptoms of postpartum depression and should be combined with ongoing counseling with a therapist trained in issues surrounding childbirth. It's always important for women to discuss any potential side effects an antidepressant drug may have on herself, on her baby. Studies show that some antidepressant medications have no harmful effects on breastfeeding infants. Psychotherapy alone may also be used to treat postpartum depression. New mothers should be encouraged to talk about their feelings or fears with others. Socializing through support and real story, through support groups and with friends can play a critical role in recovery. Exercise and good nutrition may improve a new mother's mood and also aid in recovery. We need to know about caffeine, what's happened. For example, normally we know that breastfeeding mothers can drink 1 or maximum 2 cups of coffee, but we need to know that it's caffeine not only in coffee, in tea, black tea too. So caffeine, while tempting to exhausted new mothers, should be avoided because it can trigger an anxiety and mood change. So if mothers have problems with mood, have problem with postpartum depression, so we need to know that it's caffeine should be avoided. Antidepressant medication and breastfeeding treatment for postpartum depression typically includes some combination of antidepressant medication and talk therapy. Peer support, such as support groups and sleep, are important aspects of therapy as well. Many medications to treat postpartum mood and anxiety disorders are safe to use while breastfeeding. Medication to treat the mother should not be withheld. This is very important to know that some antidepressant medications safe for mothers, but we don't give prescription. We only know about this one. That is because some mothers have worries about this one. Worries not only about antidepressant. All of mothers worried about any drug, because she thinks it's maybe she can drink this drug and this effect on her baby. So we need reassure mother about this one, and because it's treatment, postpartum depression, it's very important. Next one, hormone therapy. Hormone therapy, in hormone therapy use estrogen. Estrogen replacement therapy sometimes helps with postpartum depression. Estrogen is often used in combination with an antidepressant. There are risks that go along with hormone therapy, so be sure to talk to your doctor about what is the best and safest for you. I saw in elactanza.org about estradiol, and now we see that here low risk for breastfeeding, and there's evidence that estrogen-containing pills may decrease milk production, especially during the first few weeks postpartum. They may reduce the protein content of the milk. No problems have been observed in infants whose mothers were treated. Expect some cases of translate gynecomastia in infant whose mothers were receiving a higher dose than usual. Estrogen exposure in childhood or adolescent does not influence the subsequent production of milk. And the American Academy of Pediatrics state that this medication is usually compatible with breastfeeding. So the hormonal therapy too, it's okay. But we need to know that sometimes estradiol and so can affect decrease of mother's milk. We need to know about this. Sometimes it's not so too much, but like we see in this slide, sometimes they decrease milk production. And I want to say about Edinburgh postnatal depression scale. It's only for information. This only questions for mothers, and this needed to give mothers after delivery, after, for example, checkup when mother come to hospital. Why this very important? Because sometimes when mother come to check up in the hospital, it's only few minutes, maybe checkup for baby, and all of doctors interest baby's health. And another doctors, for example, if she go to gynecologist, only mother's situation with her, how she feel her, not any problems, but not too much doctors interested about psychological situation, how mother she is feel her. If this psychologist, for example, this problems, psychological problems in mothers, we can see, but sometimes it's needed to know about exactly. So use this Edinburgh postnatal depression, and if you're interested, you can find this in the internet. If you're interested, I can send you. I have this one, and I can send you by email. If you're somebody interested, this postnatal depression scale is a screening tool designed to detect postpartum depression. Follow the structures carefully. A score greater than 13 suggested the need for a more thorough assessment because you could have postpartum depression. So mothers answer the questions. After this one, doctor can refer her to psychiatrist or to another healthcare provider. But this is very important point too, and we need to know about this one. I think I can say too much information about postpartum depression, but I will try to join all of important information for us, like lactation consultant. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Thank you for your attention.
Assalamu alaikum, Gulara. Thank you, Barakallah Fiki. But just reminding for the sisters who doesn't want to show their faces, keep your camera closed. And I want to really brief whatever you talked before we can get few questions, just to make sure that the ladies followed exactly what you meant. Again, Barakallah Fiki, for the first English presentation, I know that you are really doing a lot in Russia and your Russian culture, or even Azerbaijan. I know that you're doing a lot, because the way that we discussed this earlier and how much you're passionate about breastfeeding and pregnancy, the effects on both sides. Now, again, the language barrier might not give you that feeling, subhanallah, but you did very well for the first presentation in English with the content, the lovely slides, and you're trying to make it simple as possible. Yani, I would really get these efforts really granted, inshallah. And just to brief it, I want to let you, because few of other ladies there in Arabic, just to remind them, baby blues and postpartum depression. Before I brief them, again, baby blues, it's something like a new term, Gulara, right? Because everyone in all the articles, they're talking about postpartum depression. So we need to redefine that baby blues is something other than postpartum depression. Is that right?
Right. For example, in America, in European countries, now about this one, and sometimes it's not like baby blues. Baby blues, this from mother's language. You know, we know about this one like postnatal melancholy. For example, you can find this like postnatal melancholy, because this melancholy, you know, it is feelings of mothers. She's sad, sadness, tearness, all of this one. We can say about baby blues, but postpartum depression, it's severe symptoms. It's severe sign.
Okay, so I will brief this again, and I will translate it just for simple for the Arabic ladies. Yes, in Western countries, they really use the term baby blues. I heard it a few years back, and we had a national support group, baby blues something, or center in Dubai, I believe, a few years back, and we used to refer the cases who suspect postpartum depression. Just to brief for the ladies in Arabic, لما الأخت جولارا ما قصرت لما طرحت الموضوع، لكن شغفها بالمادة باللغة الأصلية تبعها الأذربيجانية والروسية. طبعا واضح الفرق بين بيبي بلو بوست بارتم ديبريشن. بيبي بلو لما حاولنا نجيب الترجمة والأخت جولارا، مثل ما بنقول الحزن ما بعد الولادة، حتى هم بالعربي عندهم بلغتهم الحزن بما معناه، لأنه الاكتئاب ما بعد الولادة هو الشيء اللي بدنا نخاف منه أكثر من الحزن ما بعد الولادة. ورح أختصر الموضوع بعدين بعد ما أعلق على الأخت. فالحزن ما بعد الولادة هي عبارة عن الاضطرابات النفسية للأم، الاضطرابات النفسية للأم خلينا نقول أول أسبوعين تقريبا إذا ما زاد عن الحد. فهاي الاضطرابات والتخبطات بتأثير الهرمونات، وغير التأثير الاجتماعي أو تأثير نوع الولادة وصعوبات الولادة وهالكلام. إذا تعدى الموضوع عن الأسابيع هاي وكان في خطورة، اللي هو مثلا نحس إنه الأم في عزل، ما بتنام كويس، ما بتاكل كويس، تكره الطفل، تكره نفسها، في أفكار انتحارية، في أفكار لصيغة انتحار أو لإيذاء الطفل، هاي تعتبر اللي هو postpartum depression. الغرب ركزوا على البيبي بلوز ووصفوه بيبي بلوز، لكن هو الوصف للأم مش للطفل، اللي هو الحزن ما بعد الولادة، وركزوا إنه هاي الأعراض الطفيفة. الأعراض الكبيرة اللي بنخاف منها اللي هي لما تتعدى الموضوع العادي، يعني في خوف، في قلق زائد، في مواضيع حساسة ممكن تتجرأ لها الأخت. I'll get back to the English again. I just differentiated for the Arabic ladies the differences between baby blues, or we consider al-huzn, okay, and postpartum depression. And I already highlighted the red flags in general. And I already told them again that for the baby blues, it should be subsiding within 2 weeks, if not little more sometimes. The effect of the pregnancy, let's say, experience, or the antenatal classes, if she's exposed or not, or a trauma during pregnancy, or maybe sometimes miscarriage in between, trauma during pregnancy, and trauma even during labor. You already highlighted something very important, which is a trauma during labor, and this is the childbirth educator role, to educate and empower mothers to know their rights during pregnancy and labor. Otherwise, she will be really getting trauma, and that will affect her. And also, we said the breastfeeding effects is very important, because we needed to know more about the oxytocin level, and you already highlighted that oxytocin level is very important for mother and baby, because it's the love hormone and bonding hormone. more. So the more that the mother gets, let's say, support and bonding from the family and community, and she's well educated, she's getting good support for breastfeeding and delivery, I think she will subside baby blues. Another thing we said, talk to people and share your feelings with people in community, get in touch with husband and community, ask for people who to ask can help. Another thing I wanted to add is just something, again, new for the Arabic community. I will also do it in Arabic. I think childbirth educators will know that, which is the fourth trimester. Fourth trimester, we considered after delivery, the 6 weeks is considered the fourth pregnancy trimester. نحن عادة المعلومة الجديدة غير حزن ما بعد الولادة واكتئاب ما بعد الولادة، في شيء بنسميه مع مثقفات الحمل أو القابلات الغربيات، بنسمي إنه نحن الحمل عندنا مش بس 3 فصول، عندنا 4 فصول. فصل الحمل الرابع ما بعد الولادة يعتبر رعاية الأم والطفل من الأشياء المهمة لتخطي عملية عملية اللي هو الحزن أو الاكتئاب. So I just wanted to add this. Thank you again, Gulara. We really appreciate the first English topic. However, you do lots in your culture and your videos again. You will be getting a certificate and a gift by BFF again, Breastfeeding Friends Society. And I would love to get the chance for ladies who want to ask before we end. And don't forget to fill the feedback form, please. The link in the chat box. Fill the feedback form in the chat box. Any questions؟ أي سؤال حابين تسألوا بالعربي ممكن أترجم لها، ما عندي أي مشكلة للأخوات اللي حابين يسألوا الفرق بين حزن ما بعد الولادة واكتئاب ما بعد الولادة أو أي أسئلة أخرى.
Nassim, before it's coming questions, I want to say one point. For example, if postpartum depression it's not treated, for example, mother has support but it's not treated normally, that continued, for example, after second birth, and some mothers, for example, she has postpartum depression, it's not normally treated, she go from this through all of these problems, and after when born second child, it starts again all of her feelings, all of her problems, and it's very interesting, it's very impactful breastfeeding. For example, I have one mother, when I consulted her, she said, I'm breastfeed only because I have a feeling of guilty. If I'm not breastfeed my baby, I was not good mother, you know, and only for this feeling of guilty she's breastfeed her baby. This is very important. She not breastfeed for, you know, for happy feelings that her baby. It's only for feeling this guilty. If I'm not breastfeed my baby, I'm not good mother. Because so it's very important. Treat it immediately in time. If it's not treated in time, it continues all of next pregnancies.
That's really true, and that's why we need the healthcare centers and the Ministry of Health to really consider the first visit, postpartum visit. They should consider the let's say postpartum or baby blue scales. I do believe that you shared the scale, but again, it's more for the scientific people to use it, because again, the culture will not accept that you are telling a mother you have a postpartum depression, I need to go for a psychiatric or something like that, because sometimes the poor communication or the scientific terms in Arabic or other languages can really affect the mother and she might withdraw. But it's a good thing that people will start to know, if you have something strange, get back to the doctor. The gynae doctor will be the one to refer her to the specialist needed, because for our support, although we are able to maybe the catch up of the cases, but sometimes the culture will avoid them to go to such cases because she thinks this is just, you know, normal. She's panicking, she's crying, all mothers can cry and panic. So again, better to let her go to the doctor. And if you know that doctor, you might tell personally to the doctor, I suspect this is a postpartum depression lady, kindly take care of, if you are directing to that. One question by Ms. Khawla. This is first time, yes, actually, Ms. Khawla, yes, I heard this few times, even few weeks back. يعني الموضوع جديد إنه حتى الآباء بيمرقوا باكتئاب ما بعد الولادة بسبب الموضوع المجتمعي وعدم الاستعداد النفسي للآباء إن كان حمل أو بعد الولادة، ما بيعرفوا التأثيرات الهرمونية والمجتمعية على الأم. It is something new. If you can talk in future about the signs and what are the coping signs for the father depression, we can also have another future, BFFCME for that إن شاء الله. في أي سؤال بعد أو مداخلة عشان الأخت وردة تخلص معاها ونشكرها بإذن الله.
And I not added this in my presentation, but some evidence, it's not too much mothers, but some mothers have problems. Maybe you listen about this one. This dysphoric milk ejection. Rejection. What does happen? What's happened? Mother, she don't want breastfeed. Once she started breastfeed, she all of different feelings. It's not psychological and physiological problems started. For example, she have vomiting and different interesting point. For example, maybe 2 weeks before we speak in one group, we speak about this one, and one mother said about this one. It's very rarely, Yani, it's I don't know, it's not too much mothers with these feelings, but it's very important because, for example, euphoric, we know this euphoric was like hormone oxytocin. Mother is very happy, she's very nice, she breastfed her baby, but when it's dysphoric milk ejection, it's mother, she don't want breastfeed because it's maybe some seconds, but she have vomiting, she has some physiological problems in this scan. And we can say that postpartum depression, it's impact this situation with for different psychological and physiological symptoms in mother.
Yeah, okay, I can elaborate on this before because we have Alfia's question. Alfia's question: how can untreated postpartum depression affect mothers during next pregnancy? Are antidepressants safe during pregnancy?
About pregnancy, I cannot say anything because I don't know really. I know it's only about breastfeeding time, but for example, if antidepressant for pregnancy time it's not allowed, she can take psychological support. Because it's very important, and we know it's not to have only supporting groups for mothers after delivery. We know we have supporting groups in pregnancy time. It's very important because in pregnancy, all of these feelings started in pregnancy. Mothers have different worries about baby, about his healthy, how it's happened. It's first mothers, it's too likely. Because first mothers, for example, second, third child, she know how it's process delivery, how this happened. But when it's first mother, this happened likely.
Okay, can I get back to Alfia? Alfia, as she said, she doesn't have really, let's say, really feedback about breastfeeding antidepressant, but as a nursing background and with experience, what she meant, Golara, if you suspect postpartum depression on pregnancy number 1, and she's really diagnosed correctly during the breastfeeding phase or after she needs to make sure that she's treated before the next pregnancy. Because what we believe, during pregnancy, you don't take medications, although if it's a psycho case, sometimes psychological and psychiatric cases, they either change the dose or stop it during pregnancy, and then they get back to that after pregnancy. This is my nursing background, which is simple experience. So again, according to Golara, if you suspect this mother, antidepressant during a pregnancy or weaning before she gets to the next pregnancy. To add to the other point that milk ejection or forceful milk let down, I had another reference from another group because alhamdulillah I'm active in so many groups. One of the psychologists experienced dealing with the postpartum depression with nutrition, improving the health status of nutrition. And she said, when I asked her how does this related, she told me that during pregnancy, and I think childbirth educators will know that mothers will have deficiencies in zinc, B12 and magnesium. So when you improve the health status postpartum or even during pregnancy, the minerals is very important as the milk ejection will be reduced if you give magnesium. So even though through due pregnancy, you need to improve your minerals, magnesium, B12, zinc, and all this stuff and extra, because this will help in the neurotransmitters اللي هي الخلايا العصبية انتقال الإشارات العصبية. بعض المعادن أو الأملاح ضروري تتعدل في الحمل لأنها لها تأثير يحمي أو تتعالج بالغذاء بعد الولادة. So also the health status is very important. Sister, yes, inshallah, Ms. Khawla, I will be translating this very soon, inshallah, within 1 or 2 weeks. If not this weekend, inshallah, الأسبوع الجاي. I will translate it into Arabic, and also I can also do the lecture in Arabic. I don't mind, Muhandisa Khawla, for the BFF Arabic group.
Inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you, Warda. دور لإلك وردة. إن شاء الله مهندسة آمري.
شكرا لك شيخة نسرين و thank you Galera. We have a small gift from the BFF. Can you remove the share please?
You need to stop the share, Golara, from the top. The same screen when you slide for top, you will find stop share. Yeah, you see
Stop
the
share.
Yeah, when you press on the red, you will find stop.
Orange one, yes.
Yeah, not the orange. When you the red this thing PowerPoint Microsoft, press on it, you might get stop share. Try it again. You found it? Yeah. Okay, but please try to switch off your camera in case if you don't want to see your face.
1 minute. Now
Camera is
I
below.
will try to find.
Yeah, black circle.
Yeah, now I
microphone and the camera. Yeah, switch off the camera.
It's not open normally.
You should be red. If you go to the screen down, you'll find the microphone, the mute, unmute. This is on. Next is your camera. Put it off. Anyway, your face is not shown. Alhamdulillah. Don't worry about this. You're black.
Yeah, because it's like
just to protect you. Try to be black.
Like
yeah,
this.
go back black. Yeah,
like
stay black. Because you're putting the cup. Okay. تفضلي وردة.
It's okay. I do like
بس
this one.
أبغى تفصل الشير.
Because I
still you didn't do stop share. Stop share, please. Again, try to do it. Ask your daughter if she's next to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now.
I find. I find. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you Sister Galera.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Golara, and please give us more about your experience. And don't worry about your language. You're doing very well, inshallah.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much for your support and all the volunteers. Warda from Morning Time, she gave too much support for me. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Sister Warda. And Sister Badriya, Jazakallah khair on all of yours. Thank you.
And Muhandisa Khawla is telling you very great thankful for you, and she's so excited about your topic, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you, ladies. Don't forget to fill in the questionnaire feedback, please, and you can sign out when you finish your questionnaire in the chat box, please. اللي ما عملوا الاستبيان الله يخليكم استبيان المحاضرة على قسم الأسئلة وممكن تطلعوا إن شاء الله. بارك الله فيكم. شكرا على حضوركم. وردة أنا بطلع أوكي؟
تمام، أصلا بسكر الحين.
يعطيكم العافية، بارك الله فيكم.
اوكي، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته sisters.